Greetings everyone, Scott Genovese here, and today I wanted to tape a quick lesson video on how you can develop a very clean open roll. Because I get asked this a lot. How do you develop such a clean open roll? How do you keep it so consistent? How do you make it sound so powerful yet you play in a very relaxed manner? And I'm not talking about the crushed rolls or press rolls. I'm talking about those very open rolls where you can hear each individual note. And I get asked a lot, how do you develop such a great sound? How do you get that roll to sound the way it does? Well, here are a few pieces of advice today. One, start by playing doubles at a slow to moderate tempo. Listen to each note and make sure they all sound even. Then after a while, just increase the tempo and bring it up to speed. I don't want to go faster and faster because you already get an idea of how it sounds fast. Now, try this now. Instead of naturally accenting that first note, try accenting the second note instead. The reason why this is such a great approach is because when we do an open roll, there's a natural tendency for the first note to get accented because we're bringing the stick up and coming back for that first stroke. So all the weight and emphasis is on that first note, and the second note of each double is weak and less emphasized. Naturally, again, naturally. So if you reverse that, you suddenly get a very strong second note. This may feel a little weird at first, but if you practice it slow, you're going to start feeling that as you get faster, that second note makes it more powerful. So just to increase the tempo. And keep increasing. I'm really paying attention to that second note. Now as you get faster into this tempo, it just comes out. And slow it back down. And when you play it like this, you have to remain relaxed. You have to keep your motions as relaxed as possible, despite how frantic it may look. You have to remain relaxed because otherwise you're going to tense up and it's going to sound very stiff. So here's my next piece of advice. Keep the focus on your fingers and your elbows, well, a little bit of your arm, but mostly your elbows when you're getting to faster tempos, and your wrist. That leads me to my next concept, and I use this a lot with my own private students and when other drummers and people ask me in general. It's a simple concept called F.E.W. F-E.W. Fingers, elbows, wrists. Again, fingers, elbows, wrists. Nothing else. Do not use anything else because you'll just be working harder and you'll get frustrated and the result will not be what you want it to be. All right? So with this approach of accenting the second note and using my little concept, F.E.W., you can get a very nice open roll as I've been performing for you. So when I'm playing slow and accenting that second note, fingers and wrists. That's all I'm using. As I bring the tempo up, my elbows start to naturally make a motion so that there's less tension in my arms and anywhere else. And I'm playing as relaxed as possible. All right, so I don't want to keep doing that. Anyway, now here is the interesting part about accenting that second note. For those that understand the Moeller Technique, which is when you play one stroke and get more than one note out of it, any grouping of that, any way you want to play them, You hear how that first note gets accented? Well, when you do it, when you play it the way that I've been teaching you, accenting that second note, it's kind of like you're playing reverse Moeller strokes, where instead of accenting the first note, you're accenting the second note. So you have to put a little more emphasis on that second note instead of just letting it bounce. Be a little more in control of it and snapping it a little bit, so that way you can execute the next stroke. So it's like you're going against the Moeller concept. So one more time, let's just review what we went over. Accenting the second note, feel, fingers, elbows, and wrists, and thinking of those doubles as reverse Moeller strokes. So just one more time from the very beginning, at a slow tempo to a fast tempo, back to a slow tempo. A nice, open, clean, consistent roll sounds like this. All right? So I hope you all gained some more insight and information on this, and I hope you guys really put this into your practice time, and I wish nothing but the best in your practice time, and I hope you get a better open roll. All right? So I'll see you all next time for the next video. Take care.